Hello children. Now let's continue our topic. Last I have said you to collect the different flowers and find the different parts and record your observations in the table. This I have done for you. Let's see. Hibiscus, datura and hypomia are the complete flowers, bisexual and have both parts of male and female in one single flower only. Cucumber, bottle gourd and bitter gourd, they are incomplete unisexual and they have separate flowers with male and female parts. Sexual parts of flower. Now take a stamen, that's androecium, from the China rose flower. Tap the stamen gently on a slide. You can see some grains fallen on the slide. Put a drop of water and observe these grains under the microscope. These grains are called pollen grains. Collect pollen grains from other flowers and observe under the microscope as well. Are all these of same shape and color? Yes. Draw the different pollen grains as you see them under the microscope. Take the pistil of datura flower as it is big enough to observe the internal parts. Cut the sections of the ovary of pistil as shown in the figure 8a and b. LS of ovary and TS of ovary you could see, longitudinal section and transverse section. With the help of hand lens, study the internal parts. What do you see? We see some ball-like structures called ovules in different chambers. Now take pistils of others flowers as well one by one and cut the ovary of them and observe. Draw the diagram of the section of ovary that you have observed. Different sections of ovary we could see. Flower part to fruit. Activity 3. Collect a pistil and fruit from the datura plant. Cut the transverse section of both ovary and fruit. Observe the internal structure of both section cuttings with the help of hand lens. Are there any similarities between them? Yes. You could see here the pistil of China rose flower stamens. There is section of the China rose flower. You could see here datura flower pistil, stigma over stamens. Collect pistil and fruit of cucumber, bhindi, cotton and beans and do this above activity. Write your observations. What similarities do you see between the ovary and fruit of the same species? Ovary arrangement of ovules will be same with the fruit. It is reasonable to conclude that an ovary develops into a fruit while the ovules develop into seeds. The seeds further produce new plants. Agents that help ovary to flower to develop into new fruit. Fourth, observe a bottle gourd plant in a garden. It has unisexual flowers, there is male and female flowers separately. Selected female buds of bottle gourd cover with a polythene bag loosely, tying a bag on a stalk. Make some tiny holes in the bag with the help of a pin. 2 days later, observe the buds blooming. Now collect the pollen grains from a male flower of the bottle gourd plant. Plug the stamens of male flower and shake to collect pollen grains in a sheet of paper. Twisting cotton wool over the tip of a matchstick prepares a brush. Now uncover 5 of the 10 female flowers. Apply the pollens onto the stigma of these flowers with the brush. The pollen grains stick to the stigma. Cover the flowers again with polythene bag. Remove all male flowers from the plant so that no pollen grain reaches the remaining female flowers. The transfer of pollen grains from another to stigma is known as pollination. After 1 week, we observe both pollinated and non-pollinated flowers. Pollinated flowers develop into fruits, whereas non-pollinated flowers do not. Why is it necessary to begin this experiment with buds in which sepals are closed? To understand well. Why are the buds enclosed in polythene bags in order not to allow pollen grains to fall into them? Why are the non-pollinated flowers also covered with polythene bags in order not to get pollinated? By this experiment, we came to know that significant role is played by male flower in the formation of fruit. If transfer of pollen grains take place within the flower, it is known as self-pollination. And transfer of pollen grain from one flower to stigma of another flower of same species is called cross-pollination. Now, agents of pollination. How do these pollen grains fall on the stigma? Air, water, animals, insects, humans acts as agents of pollination. They carry pollen grains from anther to the stigma. Insects like butterflies suck nectar from flowers. At that time, pollen grains of the flower stick to the legs of the butterfly. When the butterfly goes to another flower for nectar, the pollen grain that have stuck to its legs fall on that flower. Could see the pollination. Pollen stuck to the legs of the honeybee or butterfly pollinator. Pollen reaches the stigma. This is how pollination occurs, cross-pollination or self-pollination. Do you know? Birds and insects are the natural agents for pollination. Nowadays, farmers use pesticides to control pests on crops. The enormous use of pesticides kills insects also. It affects pollination. Crop yield become reduced, particularly in sunflower crop. The rate of pollination is reduced because of lack of insects in the fields. Think how we destroy our beautiful nature. Yes. What happens to pollen grain after pollination? Now take two slides, put 2 to 3 drops of sugar solution on one slide and 2 drops of water on other slide. Add some sugar grains to water on the slide, one slide. Now put some pollen grains of hibiscus flower on both the slides. After 1 hour, observe under microscope. In which slide do pollen grains germinate and why? In sugar solution slide. There are some substances present on the stigma which promote the germination of the pollen grains. During germination, a tube grows from the pollen grain. This tube ultimately reaches the ovary through the style with the male part. This male part fuses with the female part in the ovule of the ovary. Fusion of units of male and female parts to form a structure called as zygote is called fertilization. After fertilization, seed develops from the ovule and the ovary usually develops into a fruit. The entire process of fertilization and formation of zygote is known as sexual reproduction. For the formation of a seed, sexual reproduction is essential. The seed thus formed are dispersed to different places by agents like air, water, birds, and animals, and by human beings as well. These seeds grow into new plants under favorable conditions. Let's see here fertilization. First, pollen grain reached the stigma, started growing pollen tube. Through the pollen tube, the tube cells enter the ovary, and fertilization occurs. Production of baby plants or offsprings from the zygote is called sexual reproduction. You often find that some plants produce new plants from their vegetative parts. Can you name some such plants? Let's see. Reproduction in plants when occurs using vegetative part of the plant other than the flower is called asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction. The most interesting thing is in plants is baby plants can grow even without formation of seeds, that is without sexual reproduction. Let us study some such processes. Vegetative reproduction. Production of new plants from vegetative parts of a plant, that is root, stem and leaf, is known as vegetative reproduction. Let us do activity 6. Do you know how farmers produce potatoes in their fields? Take potato and observe it. It has a number of small depressions on its surface. These are known as eyes. Cut the potatoes into pieces such that there is an eye in each piece. Remove the eyes from some of these pieces. Fill 2 cups with the soil. Put the piece with eyes in one cup and label the cup with eyes, and other without eyes, another cup name without eyes. Water both cups daily and observe what happens. In which cup do potatoes plants sprout? With eyes. Here is a picture of a plant called bryophyllum. You can see baby plants on the edge of the leaves. Can we say that bryophyllum plant reproduces through its leaves? Yes. In our garden, we grow plants like rose, hibiscus, and jasmine by cutting a small branch and planting them in soil. Which other plants can be grown from its cutting? Nerium, chrysanthemum, etc. Let's see. Plant and part of the plant used to grow new plant. Sweet potato, dahlia, carrot, turnip, radish. New plants grow from modified root. Potato, new plants grow from the eyes in the tuber, which is a modified stem. Onion, garlic, tuberose, lilies, gladioli. New plants grow from bulbs or corms, which are modified stems. Bryophyllum, sprout leaf plant. Begonia. New plants grow from buds on the leaves. Sugarcane, stem grows roots at the nodes. Mint, strawberry, chrysanthemum, raspberry. Stem creeps along the ground and strikes roots at the nodes. Budding. The jalebi maker adds something to the jalebi mix and leaves it for some time. It helps him to make good jalebis. What he mixes is a type of plant called yeast. Yeast grow with the help of a small bulb-like outgrowth which increases in size and breaks off from the parent plant to live independently. This process of reproduction is called budding. You could see the picture. Next activity, take some water in a glass tumbler, mix a tablespoon of sugar and half spoon of yeast powder you get in a market in the glass tumbler. Cover the glass and leave it undisturbed for a day. On the next day, place a drop of solution on a slide and cover it with a cover slip and examine it under the microscope. You'll be able to see budding yeast cells as shown in figure 14. They look like water bubbles growing new ones on them. Spore formation. 8th activity. Take a slice of blood, cover it with a vessel and leave it undisturbed for 2 to 3 days. Thereafter, you will find the slice covered with grey colored fungus called bread mold. Let it stand for 3 or 4 days. The whole growth appears like a black powder-like matter. Transfer this powder with a thin stick on a fresh slice of moist bread. Observe what happens after every day and note your observations. Every day, the mold starts growing. The black powdery portion of blood mold contains several spores. You could see here the sporophylls giving out spores. It's a rhizopus fungus. Do you know Alexander Fleming, a Scottish scientist, discovered that a certain kind of mold, penicillium, produces a substance called penicillin, which can destroy many kinds of diseases causing bacteria. Penicillin came to be known as antibiotic and saved the lives of many soldiers in World War II. Now we could see an outline of reproduction. Reproduction is of two types, sexual and asexual. Sexual, male and female part combine to form zygote that gives out seed and a new plant. In asexual reproduction will be done by buds, spores, vegetative parts. But a new plant will be spores will give into a new plant. Vegetative parts like root, stem, leaf, when they touch the soil, they start growing roots and give a new plant. This is about our lesson reproduction in plants. Thank you, children.